Okay, and in the same fashion, I want to tell you guys that I've been reading this book. It's called The Female Search for Love by Bell Hooks. Now, if you don't know who Bell Hooks is, she's a black feminist scholar, an author, and a cultural critic. She's written all about love, but in this book, The Female Search for Love, she basically is dismantling the way our entire culture understands, teaches, and even withholds love, particularly from women and particularly from girls. So I knew I had to pick this book up. I saw it on Threads, someone had posted it. I've read all about love, but this book is like an awakening, honestly. Like the first before I even got into the book, I feel like it was the preface, and I was already like, whoa, Bell Hooks, like, calm down. But one particular part that she writes, just so you can kind of feel how I felt, she says, the girl who does not feel loved in her family of origin is given another chance to prove her worth when she is encouraged to seek love from males. Prove her worth. You heard that right, okay? The girl who does not feel loved is given another chance to prove her worth. So, a lot of us have had childhoods where maybe we weren't paid attention to as much as we could have been, whether that's because we were raised by a single parent or our parents worked a lot, had to juggle jobs and other responsibilities to put food on the table. A lot of us have a love deficit, an attention deficit, growing up. And that can turn into searching for attention in the wrong places, searching for love in the wrong places, but also holding, having a man as proof of value, having a relationship as being, you know, a statement of your lovableness or lovability, whatever you want to call it. It's just really perpetuating this, idea that churches teach, culture teaches, fairy tales, magazines, everything is like leading to the princess finding her Prince Charming. And, if she doesn't, or if he leaves, or if he hurts you, then something must be wrong with you. That is just how things are taught, and we're expected to shift and mold ourselves so that we can be lovable. And Bell Hooks also talks about women who are obsessed with getting and keeping a man. This also reminds me of that one song. I can't remember if it's by Betty something, Betty Wright, I think. And it's like basically like having a piece of man is better than having no man at all. And that just goes to show that song is probably from like the 90s, maybe late 80s. Women were thinking that way. Like, if I don't have a man, people are going to look down at me, basically. So I better have a piece of a man, even though he's not doing nothing for me, but maybe laying lousy pipe. Okay. Um, hey, I know we've all been there, most of us, some of us. Bell Hooks really touches on that, and I feel like we see so many examples of it in society, but I just had to touch on that and highly recommend this book to you, because honestly, this is not something to be ashamed of. This is a place where you can transform because, she also talks about girl children witnessing their mothers suffering and how that also impacts us and almost traumatizes us because we learned in real time what love looks like. And if that is pain and if we're seeing suffering, that becomes our blueprint. That becomes what we think, that's our prototype, that love involves suffering or some type of, deep self-sacrifice. And instead of love being about self devotion and honor first. And that's not small. That is literally how those cycles continue and perpetuate unless we stop it in its tracks.